we are making marinara. And we're making spaghetti squash and zucchini noodles. For people that have gluten sensitivities, spaghetti squash is a nice pasta substitute along with zucchini noodles.
We want to show you a very simple recipe that we love. To us, marinara is just all about the tomatoes.
All about the ingredients. Super basic, but the tomatoes are key.
It's really delicious. You're gonna love it. And yes, it goes great with those turkey meatballs. Are we ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Two Chefs. This is my wife, Mara.
This is my husband, Ryan.
By the way, thank you for all the people that have commented and given us some thumbs up and all the subscriptions. It's really great. Look out, kids. You're gonna be addicted. You're just gonna be drinking glasses of marinara. No, but
it's weird.
We're gonna start with the marinara and we'll get to the alternative pastas later. So let's put these aside.
AKA the vegetables.
So we're just gonna focus on the sauce right now.
Let's talk about the ingredients. 2 teaspoons of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of dried basil, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme. We've got 3 good sized garlic cloves, 1 large yellow onion, 3 pretty nice leafy basil, fresh basil sprigs, and then we've got 2 28-ounce cans of San Marzano tomatoes. We specifically use San Marzano tomatoes in almost every recipe.
Look at these. Look at how red they are.
Oh my God, they're glorious.
San Marzanos are originally from Naples, Italy. They are, I believe that they like originated in volcanic soil, like Mount Vesuvius, something like that.
They pick them at the peak of absolute fresh ripeness, where they are at their most amazing flavor. Everything is, they're done growing. They just need to get picked and eaten.
True story. There's even some little
they put in fresh basil in the
leaves
can too.
I don't know if you can see that.
Just a little like.
But these are the plum tomatoes, and we're gonna crush them with our hands a little bit. They're so red and beautiful. And
they're gonna get cooked down, and then we're gonna blend it for the red sauce anyway. So if you can only find them diced, smashed, or whatever in the can at your supermarket, then that's fine too. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the onion. We just need like a medium dice or a medium chop. Just gonna cut off this top here. I'm gonna cut it in half. Take this brown peel off. First, you're gonna make a cut, not all the way through, 3/4 of the way through. You're gonna slide that out and then do the same here. Watch your fingers. Then you're gonna turn it this way. And I'm cutting almost all the way to that root piece there. And then we're gonna cut this way and they will all come off magically diced. Next, we're gonna crush the garlic. That looks good. You don't really have to go too crazy because it is, again, all gonna get blended, so.
Now let's crush the tomatoes. So you wanna be careful not to squish these all over your counter. So all you're doing is squishing up the ones that are still whole. Again, this is gonna get blended up in the end, so.
We have our saucepan here heating up on medium heat, and we're just gonna add about a tablespoon of olive oil. And we're gonna add the onions. Toss them a little bit, coat them all with olive oil. We're gonna saute the onions until they're slightly translucent, and then we're gonna go ahead in with our garlic and our dried herbs. I'm gonna go in with a teaspoon of salt now. Adding it to the onions now just to help the sweating process. Get some of the moisture out of the onions is what that means. The onions are looking really good now, so we're ready to go in with our garlic. And we're gonna go in with our dried herbs. I'm gonna show you guys how I like to add them. I like to just kind of rub them in my hands first. Just kind of release all those oils that are in there. And the basil. And then the dried thyme. Give it a little saute really quick. It smells so good in here. Okay, and now we're adding the tomatoes. It's really hot, be careful, it gets really steamy. Every last drop. Just stirring it all together, making sure that there's nothing stuck to the bottom. I think I'm gonna add 1 more teaspoon of salt. After we've added the tomatoes, we just want it to kind of come back up to a simmer, and then we're gonna turn it down to low until it cooks down to kind of the right consistency that we're looking for, and we'll show you that.
I preheated my oven to 365, and now I'm gonna show you how to prepare the spaghetti squash. A lot of people cut their spaghetti squash in half and bake it like face down, but what I do, I just bake it whole, and I poke a few holes with a paring knife to release the steam while it bakes. So with the paring knife, I'm just gonna poke a few holes. Make sure you watch your hands on this one. There we go. Now we're gonna throw the squash in the oven. I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna check the squash and rotate it, and then I'm gonna roast it for probably another 10 minutes after that. There's tons of methods to make zucchini noodles. This is the one that we use. It's just this handheld tool. It makes like spaghetti sized noodles. It's really great. It's really simple to use. You kind of just grate it, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. You grab your zucchini, and you start at this end, and just drag the tool along, and it makes these noodles. So I stay on one side for like 2 swipes, and then I spin it and it'll rest. So like this. And then I'm gonna spin it and hit on this side. Probably like 5 strokes on each side. The purpose of that is the center of a zucchini has a lot of seeds, and you don't really want that in the noodles. It kind of just makes the noodle weak and stuff, so. Check them out. So you kind of want to fluff them up a little bit. Just kind of break them up so they're not all stuck together. That'll naturally happen in the pan when we saute them, but you just kind of want to help them along. Zucchini noodles need to be cooked really quick. It's like a flash saute. So I got my pan going pretty hot, medium-high heat. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil, and then I'm gonna throw half of the zucchini noodles in, so I'm gonna do it in 2 batches. I don't want steam. I want them to saute really quick in the oil, and then I'm gonna get them off the pan. All right, so here we go. I got my trusty tongs, tablespoon of olive oil. Half of the noodles. And a little pinch of salt. And I want to move them immediately. I don't want them to sit too long, or they're gonna steam. Steaming is the enemy here. All right, those look good. And as soon as they become limp at all, that's when I take them off. And then make sure you spread them out immediately. Now I'm gonna saute the rest of the zucchini noodles. About a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm just gonna add the rest of them. Again, these cook really quick. So even after you've taken them off of the pan and put them to rest, they're gonna continue to cook a little bit more. So just be careful with these. You don't wanna overcook them. It's been 30 minutes. I'm gonna check the squash. I'm gonna give it a little squeeze to check for like firmness. You want a little bit of give, but if it's mushy, it's way overdone. So I'm gonna feel it, almost perfect. I'm gonna rotate it to the other side, and I'm gonna give it 10 more minutes. So that'll be a total of 40 minutes in the oven. So 10 minutes is up, and I'm gonna take it out, let it rest on the oven. The spaghetti squash has been resting for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna cut it open and let out the steam. Cut it down the center. After cutting it open, I'm gonna let it sit for like 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna start scooping out the good stuff. Basically, you wanna get all this good meat on the sides and take out all the seeds in the center. So slice the ends right here. And the fork is the best tool. Just grab the inside stuff, like all the seeds. Kind of bunch it all up in the center. And it all comes out together. It's really easy. All the seeds and the core is removed. And you can see all the noodles here, all the strands, they just come out. And the best way to do it is just take a fork and just kind of work all the noodles out with the fork like that along the sides. And then spin it to the other side. All the noodles are loose, and I can just scoop them right onto the tray here. See that? Look at it. It's awesome. Nature's noodle. This is perfectly cooked too. This is the good stuff. These are the noodles that you wanted. I love these noodles. And the last thing I do with them is I use a little bit of olive oil. Drizzle probably about a teaspoon. It's not too much. And then just kind of incorporate the oil into the noodles. And there you go, you got spaghetti squash noodles.
Our red sauce is cooked for about an hour, and the consistency is perfect. So we're gonna add a little bit of the fresh basil. We're gonna blend it all up, taste it, see if it needs any more salt, and that should be it. Just gonna remove the leaves from the stems. Just take one of the larger ones and then stack a bunch of these smaller sizes on top. And then you're just gonna roll it up like this. And we're just gonna slice it. We're gonna taste the red sauce, see if it needs any seasoning, which it's almost perfect. I'm just gonna add 1 pinch of salt. So that was about another ½ teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna add 3/4 of the fresh cut basil. And then the rest we're gonna reserve for garnishing. I'm gonna use the stick blender to blend all of this together. Just gonna give it a couple pulses. We're going for a really smooth consistency, so it looks like we're just about there. I'm gonna give it a couple more pulses. So just detach that. And you can see this just really nice consistency. Like it's very thick, but it still retains a lot of that nice tomatoey texture. You can still see the bits of the fresh basil. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want. Check these out.
Yeah, these
They're
look beautiful.
amazing. So awesome. If you pair those turkey meatballs from the last episode with this, you have a winner. I'm ready. You like that?
I like it that you can still slurp it.
It's like a real noodle. It's amazing.
It's
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
And you don't miss it. You don't miss pasta when you're eating something that's this good and well prepared. So
tastes just like Mama used to make it.
we need the meatballs. I'm really hungry. I just realized that. I'm starving. You guys make this, enjoy it.
Subscribe it, like it.
Hey, we really appreciate you guys checking us out. Yeah.
I love your feedback. Keep it coming, please. It's so much fun to hear what you guys think. If you have tried the recipes, let us know. We love our community and we love all of our clients. We love all of the people that want to eat our food. See you next time.